Paul is the most overhated player in the NBA right now. And I think that became pretty clear when Patrick Beverley just shoved Chris Paul out of nowhere. And Chris Paul clearly did not say anything at all. And even in this same game, DeMarcus Cousins had this to say about him. But going back even way before this, Chris Paul was always the most hated player in the entire NBA due to his connections with the commissioner and the refs, and people always thought he was a dirty player and he always flopped. There's also a lot of articles of how Chris Paul was a bad teammate, and this one specifically, Rajon Rondo apparently said that Chris Paul was a bad teammate. I don't know how accurate this is, but there's definitely a lot of other articles, and in this video particularly, this guy is basically hating on Chris Paul, saying he's not a good teammate, one of the worst teammates in the NBA. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Chris Paul is a good player when it comes down to his IQ, passing, and everything, but I could see why he's the most hated player in the NBA, and that is because of his flopping, because of his cockiness, and the connections with the refs and everything. I definitely think that he's just the type of player to get underneath people's skins. Patrick Beverley shoved him, and I think the entire game Chris Paul was saying stuff to get him mad, which obviously worked. So I can see why he's hated. He probably is that type of person to be cocky as a player, and that's why some teammates don't like him. But he can win games at the end of the day. A good example of this would be James Harden and Chris Paul on the Houston Rockets. Like, I definitely think there was some beef between them, and that's why they didn't have that chemistry. And exactly when Chris Paul went to the OKC Thunder started winning games. So he just has that effect on the game, which proves that the Houston Rockets situation wasn't just that Chris Paul and James Harden was bad. It was just because the chemistry between them. And it definitely could have been that Chris Paul wasn't that good of a teammate to James Harden. But I honestly do not know. That is just an assumption. And on social media, a lot of NBA fans are really upset that Chris Paul's heading to the NBA Finals. They was like, man, this ring doesn't even count. And saying stuff like that, people just do not like Chris Paul. It has always been like this for his 16 years in the NBA. People hate Chris Paul, and it made some people sick to their stomach seeing him going into the NBA Finals. And with that being said, I definitely do think this ring counts for CP3. Him getting to the playoffs and getting to that Western Conference Finals, getting to the finals is definitely a big accomplishment. Even with those stars out, I still think that's a good accomplishment for him to do. And even the record for the regular season, I think that was a major W for him. So you can, like, the regular season, there wasn't that much people injured and things like that. So I really do think that Chris Paul's ring counts. I don't think whoever wins this year, I think the ring counts. I don't care what the fans say. I know they might be mad. The Brooklyn Nets fans are mad, but you gotta just accept, especially if the Hawks win. If the Hawks win, their ring counts. I don't care what anyone says. The Knicks were supposed to beat them. The 76ers were supposed to beat them. Embiid was kind of injured, but that is an excuse. The 76ers had a good team. And that series right there, man, it counted, man. Chris Paul's ring counts. The slander is just too much. I don't even think Chris Paul is that bad of a teammate. He obviously, is really good at gathering his teammates and getting them as a group to do the right thing. Monty Williams obviously has a part in doing that, but even Monty Williams said that, Chris Paul guides him to do the right things in certain plays. So I definitely think Chris Paul just has that IQ to do things like that. And he's just a really smart person, although he's hated in the cocky aspect of things. With that being said, though, Chris Paul, his ring counts. Any other person that wins, the ring counts. Is he that bad of a teammate? I don't know. I don't play on that team. But that's going to be the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you like this video, like it. Comment down below what you think about Chris Paul. Do you hate him? Do you love him? Is that your favorite player in the NBA? Is that your most hated player in the NBA? Josh the Arch, and I'm out.